The difference between a revenue manager and a revenue leader is, but boutiques don't really have a rate cap, so to speak.
Welcome to the latest episode of Unconstrained Conversations. Earlier this year, I managed to sit down with Kathleen Cullen at the beautiful Terranea Resort in Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Terranea is part of Two Roads Hotels, where Kathleen is the Senior Vice President of Revenue Distribution. She's also been selected as one of the top 25 minds in the industry by HSMEI. To start off, I wanted to get Kathleen's opinion on what makes a revenue leader.
The revenue leader, or revenue strategist, I like to call them, is somebody who looks far into the future, understands what the goals are, what they have to achieve, and will work with each of the different disciplines in order to achieve those goals.
Yeah.
So kind of
how do you make the
determining that
transition?
strategy.
From your own experience, right? We've all been revenue managers at properties, and we've become somehow revenue leaders.
It's not an easy transition, that's for sure, because you kind of go from taking direction from somebody else, learning from somebody else, to all of a sudden then being the one to take to give the direction and give the strategy. But I think it's just experience and really having a good mentor. I've been extremely lucky in my life to have excellent mentors.
Right.
I'd say that's what got me to where I'm at now, because without those mentors, I don't know what my journey would have been.
I wanted to know a bit more from Kathleen. What has been the biggest behavioral shift from her as she transitioned from manager to a leader who has to influence a large number of stakeholders, often without direct control?
A big behavior is understanding another department's or another person's point of view. It's not just all about what you think is best. It's about listening to each individual and truly learning what they're saying and what works for them, and trying to work together to achieve that goal.
Right.
So a leader is not a dictator. I definitely think that's the wrong message. A leader is never a dictator.
Right.
A leader is somebody that finds the best experts in each of the different disciplines, no matter what it is.
Right.
And then they get out of their way.
Right.
Like I hire for strong talent. I hire for the right attitude, not necessarily always the experience. And then I just get out of their way.
I like Kathleen's approach to leadership. A leader can never be a dictator. A leader finds the best people for her team, hire for attitude rather than experience, and then get out of the way. Next, our conversation turned to Two Roads Hospitality, which manages a collection of unique properties around the world. I wanted to hear from Kathleen about the challenges in managing independent boutique hotels.
So, Two Roads, no challenges whatsoever. It's super easy. No, that's not true. So Two Roads has about 90 hotels, give or take, and all of our hotels are boutique type hotels or resorts. My preference is to work in that world. Big differences is that you have more autonomy when you are working for an independent or boutique type hotel or hotel company. So you have a lot of freedom. You can basically create your own or the hotel's or the team's destiny.
That must be very fulfilling for the revenue managers, right? Because they are their own little. They have their own little freedom as well, right? Rather than following some corporate standards. I'm sure there's some guidelines, but other than that, it's like you guys do whatever is best for you in this location,
Well, one of the things that I find when I'm interviewing revenue talent is a lot of the people that want that freedom really prefer to work in the independent world and like the foundation that we provide. So we have, like I said, the same systems and we have good support for them, but we're not telling them, here's your manual of how to do your job every single day. A lot of the people that I interview will talk about their preference for creativity. And there's other people that prefer to have the strict guidelines, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not in the boutique world.
So the boutique world needs an independent-minded, creative, and possibly more entrepreneurial revenue manager. But what about the actual RM and pricing strategies?
Boutiques don't really have a rate cap, so to speak. Bigger brands tend to set themselves up so their rate should be at a certain level against another one of the brands, for example, or another like hotel type. Boutiques don't do that.
In terms of competitors?
Boutiques or independents can set their rates depending truly on the demand,
right.
And what's going on in the market.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Right, right. Because you're creating your own product for each property that is completely different, and so you don't really have a competitive set because it's unique, right? That's kind of what you're saying.
this property is unique.
Yeah, right?
This property is very unique. Right. We do have competitive sets, but we don't have to box in a predetermined rate. For example,
you don't have to fit between this one and this one.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So we have multiple hotels in San Francisco. We have multiple hotels in Chicago. Same with New York. We don't have a way that we say, okay, this hotel, Hotel A, has to be the rate leader out of our group of hotels.
Right.
It is whatever the hotel can demand.
Right, right.
With more creative revenue managers come more creative pricing strategies. Kathleen says that unconstrained from brand positioning, the sky is literally the limit when it comes to setting each hotel's pricing. To wrap up our conversation, I asked Kathleen for recommendations and tips for anyone wanting to work in the boutique space.
Oh.
Call me.
Yeah, call me. Yeah, no, I mean, I have a lot of people that we have groomed from no experience. Like I said, I hire for the talent, the attitude, not necessarily for the experience.
Okay, so have a great attitude.
Great attitude, be willing to learn, don't think you know it all, don't be a geek.
Kathleen clearly enjoys working in the independent and boutique space. Her leadership philosophy, her approach to hiring the right talent, and the processes she has implemented all support the very creative environment at Two Roads Hospitality. I had a great time catching up with her for another Unconstrained conversation.